Hey everyone, Creepy here. So today we're going to be talking about Outpost, who made a video called Across the Spider-Verse trailer goes full woke when was underage transitioning to children. He is referring to like a one frame clip where in the background you could see protect trans kids. Whoa! Horrible! Oh gosh! Oh, of course, people like him like to pretend that trans children do not exist so that he can say, oh, it's grooming people. Also, I highly doubt he can define the word woke.
Over the past several years, when we've criticized Hollywood, when we've criticized the entertainment industry for pushing an agenda, for pushing woke propaganda, for pushing identity politics.
Friendly reminder, he's literally referring to one frame in a trailer. Oh, it's pushing an agenda that minorities shouldn't be attacked, especially when they're children. How horrible. These people use all these buzzwords, but I highly doubt he knows what any of these words actually mean. He probably makes up definitions to fit a narrative.
At each and every opportunity, people used to turn around and try to say, well, no, that's not really the case. You're reading too much into it. But now here we are in 2023, and that is impossible to deny that that's exactly what's going on.
He is literally referring to a frame in a trailer. A frame that said, oh, protect trans children. Literally, what he's talking about is, hey, we shouldn't take rights away from people, especially children. He's like, oh, this propaganda, which is ironic because his entire channel is just propaganda saying, oh, wokeness bad, wokeness bad. It's really NPC of him.
And even though Into the Spider-Verse was a massive success for Sony when it released 5 years ago, and they immediately greenlit a sequel, Into the Spider-Verse 2, and we do have a new trailer for Into the Spider-Verse 2, Across the Spider-Verse, that came out yesterday. And what are they doing with that fan base, with that audience? They're trying to push woke messaging to them. And if it wasn't any more clear, just look at this shot from the trailer. You got Spider-Gwen right here. They snuck a poster about trans kids into the new Spider-Man trailer.
You know, the thing about propaganda is usually propaganda is made to be seen. They don't hide it as a little Easter egg in the background. Propaganda is made to make people believe in stuff. Why would they hide it if it's propaganda? Also, something I want to talk about is people think that the first Spider-Verse was woke as well, mostly because there's a black person and a woman in it. A lot of people claim that Miles Morales is woke, and they claim that he's not really Spider-Man. People like Yellow Flash claim this. And of course, Yellow Flash is another anti-woke channel.
And yes, in her room right here, you've got a little trans flag, protect trans kids. Now, with all the debate, with all the stuff we have been talking about, from bills here in the state of Florida, things like this, yes, this is a highly contentious issue. The very idea of this underage transitioning, the very idea of parents either encouraging or endorsing or allowing these things to happen to their children is reprehensible.
How dare parents try to be okay with their children existing? How dare parents try to just have good relationships with children? Back in my day, children were beat by their parents because they felt like beating their children. I don't know, beating kids is weird. Not supporting your children is weird. You should support your children. Why would you not support your children? Do you want to end up in a retirement home? That's what's going to happen to you if you don't support your children, if you don't support their transition, if you don't support them just being themselves. Also, as we all know, most of the time when a minor transitions, they simply are either at the least socially transitioning, or at the very most getting hormones, which can be reversed.
To a large group of people here in this country and around the world. And of course, you knew they weren't going to miss an opportunity to try to push their agenda in this movie. That's what we see sometimes. They put out the first movie or the first season of something, trying to get a lot of people invested in it, try to get an audience. And then what do they do as soon as they get a season 2, as soon as they get a sequel? They decide to take it to the next level and try to push their agenda.
This is a friendly reminder that he is referring to a single frame in a trailer. It's not even something that's a large part of the movie. They did the same thing when Lightyear came out, when there was like a small little gay kiss. All of a sudden it's horrible, it's woke, that's why the movie failed. Now this movie is most likely not going to fail, and they're going to say, oh, well, this is an anomaly. Or they're going to just start saying it wasn't woke to begin with because they're grifters. They're grifters who just don't like minorities.
That's exactly what we're seeing. The arguments over child mutilation, the arguments over child consent to these types of things.
Notice how we talked about child mutilation to get your emotions really up and running, even though that's not happening. Now, when I say it's not happening, maybe there's like one person, but I'm referring to the large majority of things. Either it's just socially transitioning, or at the very most, it is hormones, which can be reversed. And of course, this guy doesn't care about the facts about situations. He doesn't care that actually there's not really any child mutilation going on. It's not even mutilation to begin with. He just used that word to get your emotions up and running. Facts don't matter to him. All he cares about is hating minorities.
And this is the disgusting shit that they're pushing in this movie. And of course, the woke lunatics love it. People like the Mary Sue, the people who live on Twitter with pronouns in their bios, they love it, right? New Across the Spider-Verse trailer said, protect trans kids, yay! Yes, I'm sure the people that are fighting for the right to groom children are super happy.
He's not even dog whistling at this point. He's literally just openly saying it. Being trans makes you a groomer to this man. He is a despicable person who hates minorities and will use any excuse to attack them. He is crying over one frame in a trailer and talking about how it's going to groom your children. This isn't even the worst video I've seen on this subject. Some people are straight up just calling it demonic. Like, how horrible of a person do you have to be to say, oh, protecting children makes you demonic? You're despicable. You don't care about children. You care about hating minorities.
About protect trans kids flag, about this propaganda. That wasn't the only thing. We've also got Miles Morales now with the BLM pin on his backpack.
As an Afro-Latino person, Miles probably doesn't like it when police murder people of color.
While standing next to his dad, who is a cop. Imagine if they had a, Blue Lives Matter pin for Miles Morales. How would people react?
The character's not written to be a dumb conservative. He's meant to be a normal person.
If Miles Morales had a Blue Lives Matter, while his dad is a cop, would people have the same response? Would the woke lunatics be praising it?
Notice how the people who care most about this are people like him who are crying over one frame in a movie trailer.
But no, because they're promoting a terrorist organization in Black Lives Matter.
Notice how he is claiming that all this is propaganda while putting propaganda saying how BLM is a terrorist organization, even though in reality most of the protests during 2020, which is what he's referring to, were protests of peace. Of course, the actual facts of the situation don't matter. All he cares about is disliking minorities.
Now, that's all cool. We're going to praise that. That's incredible. And we know that's not the only thing associated with this movie that's like that. We know Spider-Woman Jessica Drew was race swapped. We've seen this from the beginning. A pregnant race swapped Jessica Drew.
Yeah, he literally is just now complaining that there's a black person in this movie. There's no arguing with these people. They just want to cry about minorities existing, and then they want to implement laws to stop minorities from existing. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please do consider liking and subscribing. Creeper out.
Socialism is when the government does stuff. And it's more socialism the more stuff it does. And if it does a real lot of stuff, it's communism.